If you had to face your biggest fear and panic, what would it be? It's Kristen, and today we are talking about Amazon Prime's brand new series, Panic. Created and written by Lauren Oliver based off of her 2014 book of the same name, this story takes place in the summer in a small Texas town where graduating seniors compete in a series of challenges which they believe is the only chance to escape their circumstances and make their lives better. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Panic. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let's talk about it. I will also leave a link here because I did get to chat with some of the cast members in an interview which will be up soon, so make sure to check that out. Now, I have to say Panic is one of my favorite shows of 2021 so far. It is so fun, it's so twisted, there's so many secrets and mysteries to uncover and solve. Like, literally the entire time I was watching this show, I kept being like, oh my god, what? And my fiance's like, yo, you're really enjoying that show, because I was just audibly like reacting to everything that was going on. I was shook. I also think it's incredible that Lauren Oliver, who wrote the book, got to bring this story to life, because you really get to stay true to the story that she was building. We are following Heather, played by Olivia Welsh, as our main character, and she's someone who doesn't have the best circumstances. Her mom is in these abusive, drug-filled relationships and is not really able to take care of her and her younger sister. She's sort of taking on that role of the responsible one and the mom for her family. And she really wants to go to college and be a writer, but she just doesn't have the means to do that. And in this sort of desperate attempt to get money to be able to go to college, she decides to play Panic, which is this game that goes on every summer, sort of under the radar. The year prior, it has led to some deaths, so now there's even more kind of like scrutiny and just the desire to keep this sort of under wraps as they try to win the biggest pot that's ever existed for this game. And I really enjoyed following the character of Heather. I thought she was very relatable. You know, she had a lot going on that, you know, led her to this game. And I think at the same time, a lot of people underestimate her. And that was something that I really connected with, just this idea of like this person that everyone's kind of shocked when she does the first challenge and kind of takes it to another level. It just goes to kind of show, like, when you're really desperate, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. She has two best friends, Natalie and Bishop. Natalie, played by Jessica Sula, is sort of like this more competitive character. They're best friends, but also she really is a little bit sneaky at times. Can we trust her? Can we not? And then with Bishop, played by Cameron Jones, he comes from a very well-off family, so he doesn't need to be involved in Panic. He doesn't want his friends to be involved. But of course, you know, with this town comes a lot of secrets, so who knows who's really involved, who's not. There's also the character of Dodge, who Natalie forms a connection with. He's played by Mike Feist. And you guys know I'm a big theater nerd, so to see Mike Feist in this project was so much fun because he's got a theater background and he's gonna be Riff in the upcoming West Side Story. So to see him in this role that was a little bit different than things we've seen him in before, like musicals, was fun. He has his own reason for competing in this game. There's also the character of Ray, played by Ray Nicholson, aka Jack Nicholson's son. And once I realized that, I was just shook because he was like my favorite character and he was so good. You know, Ray, I think, is one of those guys, which I really like, this kind of trope, I guess, in film and television where it looks like he's gonna be a jerk, but honestly, he kind of has a little bit of a heart of gold. So these are kind of our main characters. There's a couple of other players in the game, but, you know, we get to see each episode them taking on a different dare, trying to make it through to the next round of this game, which is really all about kind of facing fears. So, you know, there's things where they're like walking across like something that's really high, or they have to sneak into this house. That was actually one of my favorite episodes. This show brings up a lot of really interesting conundrums, if you will. You know, how far will you go to kind of get out of the situation that you're in? That kind of moral compass of doing the right thing, greed, revenge, judging someone before you know them, facing your fears. They really dive into a lot of really compelling topics. While they're also playing this game, there's also this separate investigation going on, trying to figure out who was responsible for the deaths of the people in the last game. There's just like this interweaving of story going on that I think was really cool, but also at times did feel a little bit muddled just because there was so much going on and so many characters coming into play. The other kind of con that I will mention is that there's a little bit of a love triangle that begins between Heather, Bishop, and Ray, and honestly, Heather and Bishop, to me, had no chemistry whatsoever. I was all about Heather and Ray. I ship it. I want it to happen. Ray is such a great character, and I just want all the best for him. But when it comes down to it, I totally loved Panic. I think that this is a show that if you're into like thrillers and mysteries and kind of piecing things together, this is a show that will literally keep you on the edge of your seat. There's always some type of twist or turn that you're just like, what? That person's involved? Oh my god, that's going on? The people you think you can trust, you can't. The people you don't think you can trust, you can. There's just all these like secrets and hidden agendas and different things going on that will really keep you intrigued, and it was just so much fun. By the end of the season, they kind of hint that this is not over yet, and so I'm hoping that we get a second season that dives into more, or I'm wondering if we may even dive into a whole nother game of Panic, and maybe things will interweave with that season and the current season that we have. I think there's a lot of places they could go with it. Definitely a cannot miss show, and you can even get in on the action yourself playing Panic the Experience, which is a virtual escape room that takes you inside the world of Panic. I played it earlier in the week, and it was so much fun getting to kind of figure things out and solve a mystery myself. You can grab a group of friends and book your tickets for free at experiencepanic.com. If you like this one, you can check out more of my reviews right over here, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!